And we're back, guys. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. This video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use. We're also covered under the Fair Dealings and the Digital Millennium Act. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day, and we head to New York City, where dreams are made of. If you can make it here, if you can win here, you can win anywhere. And we have former U.S. Open champion Emma Raducanu taking on former Australian Open Slam champion big game Sofia Kenin. Listen, I don't care if you call her Sofia or Sonia. Just don't leave out the big game because she's got it, ladies and gentlemen. She's got ice veins. And we head to center court where we had a three-set popcorn thriller. Now, Emma Raducanu, we're going to get into it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go there and we're going to have that discussion. Coming into this matchup, 18-11 on the year. Literally, her last two tournaments played have come nearly 2 months apart. That's right, SW19 and Washington, D.C. She has not played a match, a professional match, in 25 days, ladies and gentlemen. How would she be in the U.S. Open on a wild card? Now, I told you guys, Emma Raducanu does not get in the U.S. Open. That's just going to be a nightmare. That's going to be a disaster. That's going to be a PR disaster, right? The only female to win the U.S. Open or any slam after coming through qualifiers. Imagine her not getting in New York. Not going to happen. Impossible, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, she has not played a lot in the discussion. Go check out the preview and prediction video I did. There's a huge topic of discussion around Emma Raducanu and her not playing matches. And the reality here is she did not play Toronto or Cincinnati. And of course, she would have had to go through qualifiers to make the main draw, and she did not. Now, this is a tennis network. I talk about tennis. And if you are a tennis player, I would expect you to play tennis, especially if you're healthy. But nonetheless, 18-11 on the year. Her last win came in Washington, where she took out NCAA champion Peyton Stearns, taking on big game Sofia Kenin. This, in my opinion, was the matchup of the day, or should I say night, because Sofia big game Kenin 8 and 20 coming into this matchup. She's had a horrible year. She's not looked good. She has not made it past the second round in literally 4 straight tournaments. She's been bounced out in SW19 by Iga Swiatek, Washington by Paula Badosa, and Toronto by Wong. But here, a favorable matchup. Now listen, guys, if Sofia's on her game, she should beat Emma Raducanu, right? Now, Emma Raducanu, I say it all the time, her backhand is top notch. She's got a great backhand, but she's got to work on the serve. The forehand's a little shaky. And her two-way play at the net when it comes to defending and exploding vertical to cover the net, it's a little shaky as well. Taking on big game Sofia Kenin, who's got great flat balls. Her flat balls down the line are amazing. However, I say it all the time, she plays her best tennis when she comes cross court because she's able to use a lot more topspin. Go watch that video I made on how she defeated Arina Sabalenka last year, right? Textbook on Sofia Kenin's game. But the one thing about big game Sofia Kenin is she's relentless. She never gives up. She fights for every point. And I say this all the time. If I were starting a cup team, Sofia Kenin would be on that team because she's not the fastest player. She's not the most athletic player. She doesn't have the fastest serve. She doesn't have these forehand speeds that wow you, okay? But her mental toughness, her will to win is unmatched. And that's what has led her this far in her career as a slam champion, one of the best U.S. tennis players we have representing the flag. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, she came out guns blazing in the first set. She got the job done, ladies and gentlemen, by winning nearly 70% of her first serves, winning 85% of Emma Raducanu's second serves. And yes, guys, when she gets a little nervous, it's a little shaky seeing her grab the balls from the ball kids and walk to the line. It's a little nerve-wracking. It's shaky. And then if you take a look at Dad, who's, by the way, one of the best coaches on tour, one of the most underrated father-daughter duels on tour, he's underrated by far. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, the second set, Emma Raducanu would bounce back. How did she do it? Well, she won 72% of her first serves, 42% of Sofia's first serves, 86% of Sofia's second serves. But the third set was a different story as big game Sofia Kenin comes through. She gets the victory. She got the break midway in the third set, and Emma Raducanu could not keep up. That's right. Sofia Kenin won 70% of her first serves, 40% of Emma's second serves, and all it took was two opportunities to cash in on the break point. She converted on one of the two. Emma had one opportunity to break back and tie it up. Sofia prevented it, and 18 winners to 8 was a difference maker in the third set, despite having 6 more unforced errors. Now, looking at this match, guys, are we shocked that Emma lost this match? No, we're not shocked. She's literally played her last two tournaments nearly 2 months apart. So we're not shocked that she lost this match. You have to play tennis matches to reach your optimal form. It's just not going to happen on the schedule she's playing. And we've talked about this in previous videos, on previous comments. Is she scared to play qualifiers? I mean, what's going on? My personal opinion, and this is the part where I give this fair criticism. I feel that she's such a big draw. She's such a big name. Putting her in qualifiers where she would need to do to play a lot of these master events, let's just be honest, right? It's the amount of attention she is going to draw. I just don't think she wants it. I mean, there's going to be lines wrapped around the practice facility. Her matches are going to be sold out. And I just feel that the attention that she would have to give the fans that just want to show love to her, I just don't think she's up for it right now. There's no other reason why she would skip, leading up to the U.S. Open, why she would skip Toronto and Cincinnati. There's no way to justify that. Now, listen, you can say whatever you want to the press, but the reality here is if you're healthy to play the U.S. Open, you're healthy enough to play Cincy qualifiers, you know? And I just think, again, it's the fact that she would be such a huge draw, and she knows qualifiers, that's a little different from, playing a main draw match. When you're playing qualifiers, you're playing on the side courts, and there's going to be a lot of attention for these big time stars. Imagine Coco playing qualifiers. I mean, the whole place would be sold out, jam packed. Now, I posted a short of Coco playing on essentially a side court. There was no seats left, only standing room, and the people that were watching the matches on the other court were standing up on the other side watching Coco's doubles match. That's how big of a draw Coco is, especially when you play doubles. You're not going to get a center court match for all your doubles matches. You're going to have to play some of these side court matches. And I just feel with Emma Raducanu, she doesn't really want that attention. I think she's, and this is someone that watched her ITF matches before she won the U.S. Open. Yes, if you follow the channel, you're aware I've watched a lot of her ITF matches. There's no one in those arenas. She's playing with like maybe 5 people watching. So that's what she's been used to. So it's something you have to get used to, fans cheering her name. I mean, Zachary said it best, and let's wish her a speedy recovery. She said it best. Going into these tournaments, seeing her face all over the place, she said it's scary. Seeing her face on these promo materials, buses and signs everywhere. She said it's scary. It scares her. And for someone like Emma Raducanu, who's still relatively young, I could just see, I've met Emma in the past. She's in this is my personal opinion. I think she's very intelligent. I think she has great composure. I think she speaks well. She's very articulate. She represents the game a lot better than most players, probably 95% of all the ladies on tour. I think she's a great spokeswoman for the game. I think she's the type of player we need winning tournaments and slams because she'll grow the sport, much like Coco and Iga have done. I think Emma's right there in terms of star quality and star power. She will grow the sport. But I also think she's trying to avoid these situations where she has to go get it in the mud. I think she's kind of developed a diva attitude and a diva mentality. That's just my personal opinion. She doesn't want to play qualifiers. Say whatever you want. She does not want to play qualifiers. Now, is she embarrassed to lose? Maybe that's really what it is, because I think she's got love for the fans, right? She's a very classy woman, without a doubt. I respect Emma Raducanu. She is very intelligent. She's very classy. Maybe she just doesn't want to lose to a qualifier. Maybe that's really what it is. What do you guys think? Because I can't really put a good grip on it. I don't know why she doesn't want to play qualifiers. Is she entitled? Is it a diva mentality, or is she just embarrassed to lose? Is she trying to avoid this mob of fans that will just bombard her after she wins? What is it? I don't necessarily have the answer. Why don't you guys comment below and give me the answer? But nonetheless, guys, Pops is happy. Big game Sofia Kenin is happy. And all she could say was come out and support her. She's playing doubles tomorrow. She was asked, would she stay and watch Shelby Rogers and Pegula? She said, look, I got doubles tomorrow. And listen, Sofia, we love you here at Tennis in a Minute. You're amazing. You've been one of my favorite players to watch. I'm so happy for you. It's glad to see you in the second round at the U.S. Open. You're going to have a very tough match against Pegula. I will cover that match. I'll give you a free prediction as well. I think it's going to be a tough match. However, ladies and gentlemen, both ladies' games are very comparable. And if you want to count big game Sofia Kenin out, that might be the wrong thing to do. She's victorious. She gets it done. That's right, guys. Back by winning 65% of her first serve, 6 aces on the night. She won 68% of Emma Raducanu's second serves. And yes, guys, 5 for 11 on breakpoint opportunities. She started things off very fast in the first set. She played very aggressive, flat, deep balls down the line, using a lot of top spin cross court. 45 winners overall. Yes, she did commit 40 unforced errors, but nonetheless, she got the job done. Big game Sofia Kenin is through to the second round. Tennis in a Minute. Comment below, why does Emma Raducanu refuse to play qualifiers? Can someone answer the question? We'll be right back.